crushing it Wednesday. They feeling undefeated. Queens of the ring like Christine is. If you get in the ring with Christine, you might catch a beating. Just tune in, you gon' have to see it. Stand up if you with us, if not to be seated. You seen them in every arena. Eddie and Nika, who really got something to fight for. Everybody saying they're the GOAT. Who the one that slayed the Chupacabra? Your favorite girls.
Good evening and welcome to Women Crushing It Wednesdays. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors before we get started because I always forget. And
You did it right away.
Remind me. Kush with a C, who does our intro. And of course, Arte de Tere, that does our thumbnails and our videos. Appreciate y'all so very much. And I did say good evening, everyone. Women Crushing It Wednesday, but we got a male on the panel. He just can't stay away from the ladies. So, Dista, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing very good today. Unfortunately, I don't own any pink, but my name is in pink. Look.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're wearing pink because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So just so for everybody.
I mean, I'm a man's man. I ain't wear no pink. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well, real men wear pink, okay?
They do.
Oh, yeah.
They really do.
Yeah, I don't care if people wear pink, by the way. Just
how y'all doing tonight, ladies?
Doing good.
Crystal, I like this. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those football covered, like football?
Yeah. So we have a pink at the football game.
Okay, I love it. Very nice. Very nice.
She's supporting the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my gosh, the Buffalo Bills. Okay, so there was a lot of controversy all this week since Saturday, and I want to get everybody's take. And the thing that I love about us and also our chat is that, like, sometimes we can agree, sometimes we disagree, we agree to disagree, but it's all for the love of boxing, and it's not personal. Some people get like so nasty, like they'll hate people and cuss people out and like talk so much shit if somebody doesn't agree with you, but we don't do that here. This is like a zen zone. So I'm gonna start with you, since you're the only guy.
Try one of us. Until you try one.
Well, that right.
So we never started. In fairness, we never
started. No, never started. Never started. Disto, I want to know how you saw the fight, the Bivol and Beterbiev fight last weekend. And don't worry, nobody's gonna jump on you. You can give us your opinion.
I like that stat. Let's just shout out to that stat.
That 1% counts.
Right. That's still millions of men, though. So I actually scored it for Beterbiev. I had it 7-5, but it could have easily been a draw. It could have easily gone a bit. I thought it was a really close fight. I do think that Beterbiev did the most damage. I also think Bivol let his foot off the gas. Maybe he didn't have any more gas too. That's something people don't consider. Maybe he just didn't have anything left because he was boxing very well for the first half of the fight. I thought he did good in the first quarter of the fight, and then middle of the fight, Beterbiev kind of took over. Bivol did some adjustments and got back in the fight, but then I think Beterbiev closed the show, quite frankly. And I'm saying that as someone who predicted Bivol to win decision, but that's just not how I scored it. I thought it was a really close fight.
I think you owe me $1.
Do I owe you $1? Probably.
I think you do. Yeah.
But I'll say this: I don't understand where all this it's a robbery is coming from. I think what's happening is that people have a style they prefer, and they're scoring based on that. I don't think they're. If you believe it's this highway robbery, then I think that's what they're doing. I thought it was a really close fight, and the most exciting part of the fight was watching Bivol's wife like celebrate live. Man, is she mad at that guy? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think the worst enemy that anybody can have is an ex-wife. I'm just saying. Just don't. Whatever you did, just don't do it. Whatever you want to do, just don't do it. I'm just saying.
Ex-wife that's scorned, I guess, because not
That's
everybody.
what I'm saying. Don't make your ex-wife your enemy.
Well, what's the
That's
saying? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Warren scorned.
That's very true. That's
And
very
yet
true.
men still do it. Like, they still do it. So
Very, very true. Crystal, I want to ask you next. Like, what were your thoughts on the fight? Like, how did you
Well,
see both guys doing, and what should the decision have been?
so I was truly, as I watch it, I was truly trying to judge unbiasedly, even though I choose Bivol to win.
Yeah.
So
you were
in
texting us pretty much round by round about it.
right. So I have it on my scorecard when I originally watched it the very first time live, right? I have it 7-5 Bivol. But I will tell you, I was highly disappointed in the last 3 rounds. And if you want to call them championship rounds, as many do, I'm okay with that. Bivol do not perform in those last 3 rounds, and I will agree 100% with Mr. Style on that. I do feel as though the cleanest shot was from Mr. Bivol, especially in the beginning of the fight, just as D-Style said. In the middle rounds, there's a few swing rounds, right? And these swing rounds, I find myself giving them to Bivol. Why? Because perhaps there's a little bias there, right? So
Yeah, we all do
I
it.
was,
Yes.
I was a little bit shocked at the end when I hear Arthur name be called as the winner, because I was absolutely certain that we will win it. Or I could have gone with a draw also. But I truly have Bivol winning on my scorecard. So I rewatch it because I just can't live with myself, right? So I rewatch it. And again, this is when I noticed the swing rounds. I can have either lad getting those. Still, I have it Bivol with the edge, but I don't like how he closed the show. He don't close the show, to be fair. It was Mr. Bitabiev who closed the show and looked like a shining star at the very end. But keep in mind that the judges who are there, they do score it round by round. They're not looking at the final show, the finale, if you will. But it was a great fight. It was, to me, it was one of the most fights that give us a 50-50 in 2024. I loved it. I do. It was a master class. Bitabiev, he changed. He makes some adjustments. I was just as proud of that lad as I was of Bivol. And the only thing I would say about the ex-wife, Lord have mercy, if we knew all of the bullshit that some of these lads have gone through and done in a public scene, Lord have mercy, throw them all to the wolves, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying what Bivol do allegedly to his wife is okay. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is I can't judge a lad until he guilty, right? And even then, I still completely and appreciate the entertainment in the ring.
Yeah, true. But before we go to Nike, I want to ask you, Crystal, because for those that don't know, Crystal is an official for USA Boxing, and so there was a comment that I made on Twitter, and I said that he's going to have to Shakur it. And what I meant by that was that Bivol was moving. He was using his legs.
We don't need him to act like Shakur. Like, look at what happened with the ex-wife.
Let me finish. What I meant was Shakur, a lot of people criticize him because he still has so much of an amateur style where they say on his bike, I'm going to say he's using his legs and he's doing just pop shots. They're not very effective, but they're making points like we do in the amateurs. And in the pros, the way I've known it is you sit on your shots and they have to be power shots and effective, like effectively go through the guard, effectively touch the body, start slowing the body down. Were there times, Crystal, that you saw that Bivol had a little bit more of an amateur style than a pro style, even though he's been a pro for a very long time? You know what I'm describing, just the kind of tap.
For sure. This is Olympic style boxing. That's what we call it, Olympic style boxing. That's what he has. Yeah. He's using that jab. He's using the jab to keep him off of him, but they are not. He's not putting his shoulder into every one of those. They are not a power shot, if you will. So still, I feel like the beginning of the fight, same thing. We've all had the more clean shots, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Even as a professional judge, you're looking for clean shots. And then the second criteria is your effective aggression, right? And that's where the effectiveness come in. But they are so close, and they can be so close. Where do you, as a judge, every judge have their own subjection, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And so where do you put them? Like I say, the swing rounds, I'm giving the clear Olympic style boxer those shots to Bivol rather than to Beterbiev.
Gotcha.
Whereas a professional judge perhaps will give it to Beterbiev because he was causing more damage. He was putting more shoulder
And
into
also, you know, we talk about ring generalship and I saw, and I'm sorry, like
No, you're good.
I want to go last, but
No,
but
you're
I'm
good.
just gonna say I saw that Beterbiev was stalking his prey. So we, even though Bivol was using his legs and he was moving, he was always moving on the ropes. And I saw Beterbiev going forward. And if you go back, and I mean sometimes we have to watch fights 2-3 times to like, okay, I see this, because I was watching with biased eyes too, and I had to go back again and watch it 2 more times. But Beterbiev, if you see in the beginning rounds, he starts putting money in the bank. And what I mean by that, he starts touching the body. Just every now and then pop, every now and then pop. Because we know that's going to add up and he's going to feel it. Like, he's not going to be able to move. Bivol is not going to be able to move the way he was originally. And we saw that very clearly. He starts slowing down, like in the later, like we say, championship rounds. We saw that. But before I continue, Nika, girl, you've got one of the greatest boxing minds that I know.
Oh, did I? I don't know.
Yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Wait, let me
And,
do
and,
this.
and I want to know what you saw and how you saw it.
Well, yeah, let me do this bell right here first. Got you. Thanks, just.
Our guy.
Thanks,
Thank
Mark
you so
Nash
much, Mark
TV.
Nash.
He says,
Thank you
please
so
my
much.
donation to support
So
the show.
awesome.
Appreciate you. Yeah, you heard the man.
Yes.
So I have to agree with. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I already told it last week that I was wanting Beterbiev to win. I was definitely watching it with a biased eye for sure. But to be honest, I had it more so of a draw. But I feel like the judges, and for like myself and fans and stuff like that, what you see last is kind of what you go off of. So like the last 3 rounds is what we kind of remember the most. So you kind of sway that way. So I wasn't mad with the decision of like 7-5 Beterbiev. So it was so close. People cannot scream robbery. Like, I don't know how many times we have to stress that a close fight is not a fucking robbery. Like,
I hate that word.
Yeah,
I hate that word.
Yeah. Robbery is overused. It's overused.
But I want to say that Beterbiev has some cement ass feet. Oh my god! When I was watching, he is so robotic, like heavy footed cement feet. Like, I feel like if he could implement some damn, like, just a little bit of jump in his step or something, he'd be like, we wouldn't even be having this discussion about like a close fight.
Yeah.
He would look more of like, I don't know, his fighting style is very weird. Like, he just looks like he's just coming forward like a robot. It's just so crazy. So,
what you're saying is really what I was thinking too. And Crystal, I don't want to put you on the spot, but like, as a judge and we're human. Until we get AI to like take over everything, we're human. And the thing is, it's like, we'll watch a fight. This is just me. And you tell me what you think about this. You're watching a fight, but the things that you're going to remember are like that's why they call them the championship rounds, the last rounds. Like, who wants it bad enough? Who's gonna finish it? You can like have 8 rounds before, 7 rounds before, but then the last few rounds, it's like, what are they doing?
Can I?
Yes, please.
Well, let me just not to cut, but like, I hear what you're saying, but the judges are supposed to be scoring it round by round. Meaning, round 1 happened and you scored.
Yes, but like, again,
but that's what the no, they could be all the human they want. If they're not doing that, then they're being corrupt. They're supposed to be scoring
Well,
round by round.
but a lot of people don't do what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But there is that human element. So knowing that when you get in the ring, you're like, fuck. The
Well,
last three,
to
four
your
rounds.
point, I don't think they're doing it based on the rounds because they're scoring it round by round either way. But what they can be doing is looking at the final few, like maybe the final minute of the round stands out more than the first two. That's going to be the last thing that they remember, right? They are human, but you're theoretically not supposed to do that. But what I'll say,
of course, we're not supposed to do a lot of stuff.
well, they're the professional judges. They got to be held accountable. And in my opinion, I'm open to them taking questions from people. I think they should be interviewed after fights. I don't think fighters should be giving their blood, sweat, and tears. And these judges don't have to answer any questions to the media or to anybody.
I think it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous.
I agree with that for sure.
I think it's dangerous. I mean, so Crystal, you're judging amateur fights, and one day you're going to be on there at the big stage with the pros. You know, you might have seen something that someone didn't see, and then you have a disgruntled family member or fan and they hear you saying whatever, and then they meet you outside of your hotel. So to me, I don't think that publicly they need to be questioned. I think maybe whoever's in charge, yes. But what are your thoughts on that?
As a judge, you get judged, right, in the amateurs. So we have a judging criteria, and we are judged on how we judge, along with our peers. So USA Boxing have come up with not everyone like it, but to me, it is a better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
And I think I look at it, I try to see where I'm at compared to my peers and what I can improve on, right? In the professional world, I think that there's also something similar. They hold you accountable to an extent, but you have to understand as a fan also, and I will say to anyone who say, well, these judges suck. These judges are sitting right next to the action. As a fan on the TV, as a fan back in the seats, you don't see the exact same thing that you are seeing ringside.
Mm-hmm.
So the perception
That's true. That's very true.
much different.
Very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Do you think that the judges in the pro, the pro fighters, should they be judged like the amateur coaches? Like, I mean,
well, they are, but it's a little bit different, right? So they are held accountable. They are judged on a different platform.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is as detailed, perhaps, as USA Boxing have it. But also, as a professional, they have different sanction bodies, right?
Mhm.
And the different sanction bodies, they will choose the judges they wish to use. Sometimes because of name, sometimes because of fame, sometimes because of scores. I think each platform or sanction body at this point, they are doing things to make better judges. They're providing more training opportunities.
Mhm.
I have some peers who do professional refereeing and judging, and these are some of the best, truly.
Mhm.
Even though you see a wide, some of these 116 to 112, they were discussing the scorecard. I think it was one round that make this happen. So is it truly that bad? I don't know.
Well, I mean, I do think, look, I thought this was a close enough fight where you could give it a better view. So I don't think this is the fight, in my opinion, where we got to blame the judges for anything because it's plausible that Beterbiev could have won.
Right.
But what I will say is, we know their names. If somebody wants to dox them, they could dox them. It's not like them getting interviewed and answering questions why they scored a fight a certain way is not going to put their life in danger. If anything, it's going to create.
I
don't know about that.
No, I think why do the fighters got to take questions? Why do the refs got to take questions? The promoters, everyone else in the industry takes questions.
I think it's hard enough to find judges, good judges, that go through everything that they have to go through just to be a judge, and the amateurs and the pros. And that's going to detour a lot of people because, they see what they see. They have the criteria that they believe that they were told that they have to judge by. And if honestly, do you really want to sit through all these interviews of all these judges? Like,
No, no,
I'm just saying,
I'm
like,
just
we already have
saying.
enough.
What I'm saying is they could think, hey, you scored this round for so and so. Why is that? It takes 3 seconds to answer that question.
I mean, like because I know we're gonna segue into this later, but like with the incidents that like Sandy Ryan has gone through, I feel like I could see that happening to judges too. I
But
could
we
see
know who the judges
don't know them.
are. They give us the names. We know what they look like. It's
Well, bro,
people
call them
already
up
know.
and
Like
get them on your
nobody
show.
attacked C.J. Ross when she scored a draw for Canelo in that Mayweather fight, which is a atrocious scorecard.
That
And the
was
fact that
utterly bad, right?
the fact that she doesn't have to answer to that is amazing to me. Like, why do they get immunity from?
She get a
It's
lot
called
of time for that,
accountability.
Can you
actually.
imagine if she did answer like the Canelo?
No, it's a deterrent. You think she does it if she knows she has to take questions afterwards?
I mean,
Why not?
no,
Okay,
I
Why do you
mean,
okay.
score the right way?
Let's, Crystal, I want to ask you. So after every fight that you judge, and then somebody wants you to comment on why you judge this way and that way, how would you feel, like personally?
I don't know. At the amateur level, you have to understand there's only 3 rounds. So all 3 rounds are championship
She's
rounds.
talking about it right
Yeah.
now, Christine. She just talked
So,
about it. That's all I'm asking the judges to do. She
yeah.
just did
yeah, but
it.
I'm not talking about the fights that she judges though. Like,
Right, particular fight. But I can tell you, Adelaide Byrd, if I remember correctly, on that Canelo card, she was fined thousands of dollars. So sometimes things happen to the judges and the referees that no one really know about because it is kept quiet.
Yeah, that's true. I've heard about it. That's why I'm talking about it, but not talking about it, but I am talking about it. So yeah.
I just want
and then too,
accountability.
it could deter them too, or it could sway them to judge it a different way because they're afraid that they're going to attack.
That's the thing.
So
Thank
I
you.
just don't think that's true. Like the refs get interviewed. We don't say, oh, the ref might ref differently. The ref might do something different. Oh, somebody's going to attack the ref, and the ref needs to answer as to why he didn't do something in the fight. Why did you stop that fight too early? I think a ref has more stress than a judge.
But what we're saying is we have heard and known of things happening, and that is why I believe that they don't want to put themselves out there. If they want to put themselves out there and be like, "Hey, D-Style, call me up, bro. Let's have this
But
conversation."
what happened to that
Interview
racist
me.
judge that did multiple fights for the WBA and screwed over Fox and never had to answer it? What happened to her?
she's still judging. She's judging.
Well, by golly gee, maybe we should be able to answer. Like, maybe she should have to answer some questions.
But look, she got backlash for it, and she's still back. I mean, we killed them on freaking Twitter. I know that for sure.
I
And
mean,
she's back judging it, so they don't give a fuck. They do not give a fuck.
well,
It's a tough situation. It's a tough situation. It is. I mean,
here's how I see it, Christine. These fighters put their blood, their sweat, their tears, their time, their effort, and you're telling me after all that road work, all that sparring, all that, and they earn a victory, and a judge should just screw them over, right? And they have nobody to answer to.
I mean, they do.
I'm worried about the fighters.
They
not
have
the
the
judges.
commission. They have the commission to answer to. I mean, they don't go unscathed. They don't go without a slap on the hand. They don't. But
In
it's
most
just
cases,
like,
they do.
But then again, it's like, what about these? Okay, we can go further. We can go deeper. What about coaches that allow fights to go on longer than they should, and then people want to interview them? Why you didn't throw the towel in? And then they, or things like that, or why did you throw the towel in too early? It's like there's always going to be somebody.
Guess what? Coaches have to answer to that. They do get questions about that.
It's when do we stop? Like, where does it end?
Well, that's how you have accountability, when people have to answer for their actions.
And again, we're human until we get all the human emotion and human whatever out of it.
I get we're all human. I'm human. I'm human. I have a job to do in my job. I need to execute that job. If I don't do it properly, I need to answer to somebody, right? Now, it's not a public job, so I'm not working for the, like in this case, right? But if I don't like it when police do something and then they don't have to answer to anybody, right?
Yeah, sure.
Because they work for the public. In this case, you're doing a job, right, where you're impacting other people's livelihoods, right? You're impacting the life of fighters. And I don't think if you scored a round and you believe you did it correctly, you should be able to explain why you scored a round a certain way.
Well, so Nika was so on point when she said, okay, let's say that all the judges get reprimanded. Then they're afraid to go this way.
Yeah.
So they go this way. And then
You're
they
not going to get reprimanded.
They don't call the right winner because they don't want to get the backlash from whoever it is that has the stronger voice.
Nobody's ever going to be satisfied with everybody's never going to.
This isn't about satisfaction.
No, but I'm just saying, like,
but this is
going to please all the fans. Like, there's going to be one. It's always going to be one disgruntled fan, no matter what. Like,
no, I get that. There's always going to be disgruntled people and everything. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I do believe that there should be accountability for the judges, and they should be able to answer. So if somebody watches a fight, like everyone saw that Fox won that fight, okay, and that bitch didn't score it for him, all right, and we know why. And she didn't have to answer for it. I'm talking about egregious situations like that. And in most cases, they just move along. They won't assign them for a couple of fights, and then they put them back on there when everyone forgets about it. They just put them back on. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
No one else is available.
Well, let me read the super chat real quick. Thanks again, Black TV.
Thank you so much.
I guess D-Style will definitely appreciate this.
Yeah, right. But let me say this. Let me say this, D-Style. Let me say this. Okay, so Crystal and I did not agree on the outcome, right? So I'm a judge. She's a judge. She judges for Bivol. I for Better BF. Mm-hmm. So which one of us should be questioned on why we did what we did?
Everybody, the way everyone's questioned. Hey, why'd you score that fight? Why'd you score this round this way? That's it.
And then what? And then what?
So I do have a question because I do not know.
If you cannot explain to me why somebody won a round in a fight, if you can't articulate it, you shouldn't be a judge.
We both just did.
So you both get interviewed.
We scored what we thought.
So you both get interviewed and you answer why. It's that simple.
And then what? And then what? Like, because then it's not like they're gonna go back.
Daniel, don't be sorry. Just hit the.
So we shouldn't interview anybody. So let's not interview anybody. Why interview the fighters? For what? Well, what is it going to do? Well, why interview the ref? What is it going to do? Well, why the promoters? Well, why did the head of the commission get interviewed? But the judges don't.
Just everybody. They don't want to hear from us. They want to hear from the fighters.
No, but everyone gets interviewed except them. Now, you don't find that a little weird?
Can you tell me, because I do not know, in the NFL, do they interview the referees?
I don't know if referees get interviewed in the NFL. However, referees, I mean, they do get, judged by people and then the commentators and all that. But I'm pretty sure they do. Like the head of the refs does take questions and stuff. Yes.
I've never seen a ref or like a judge, like a sideline judge or anything.
Soccer, football.
And they
yeah, but they don't have judges. A judge is different to a referee. It's very different.
None of them in football ever get. I've never seen any of them get interviewed, and they make some atrocious calls. So much where people are so pissed, and I know why they don't get judged because people put money on these big money on these football games.
Nobody is saying that if you interview the refs, the judges. That's to make sure that everyone's aligned and everybody judges the same. No one's ever going to judge the same, right? The first thing I said was, if you scored for Better Beef or Bibble when it's a close fight, it can go either way. It's that type of fight, right? However, if you look at, there was a round where Haney got the hell beat out of him against Lomachenko. He was literally hurt for most of that round. Lomachenko beat I think it was round 10 or 11. Yeah. And one of the judges gave Haney that round. Yeah. That is inexcusable. And the fact that nobody could ask that judge, hey, why'd you give that round to Haney? The fact that nobody could ask that. And instead it's, what is he going to do? Everyone else gets questioned. Fighters take punishment in the ring for 12 rounds and they got to take questions from the media. But these poor judges, right? What's easier, actually fighting another human being and trying to take your head off, or judging a fight? What's easier to do?
Mark, they don't pick the score, but a lot of these plays change the game, and that's what affects the scores of the game. So it's like, you know, you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. It's like, I mean, I feel like they should have to answer, but I don't think it's gonna change anything. To be honest, they're gonna give the explanation, and then the fight's still gonna and the game's still.
I believe in
they're
deterrence.
not going to overturn anything.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like,
no, it's like this.
Yes.
Like when I used to work customer service, I had a thing called QA. Okay, since I knew that you could listen to my phone calls, I had to do my job properly, or I would have quality assurance. Okay, so the reality is, I believe in I believe deterrence, and if people know I'm going to be held accountable, and I'm going to have to answer, right, for what I do. So I better score it to the best of my ability and be able to articulate why I believe that person won that round. If I cannot do that, I'm not going to do something corrupt and not give them the round.
Well,
right?
the thing is, they are held accountable, but it's just not publicly. They are held. Crystal, am I lying? Like, do they get reprimanded if they
The judges are judged.
They have too
based on
many
their
offenses.
performance.
If our lady's still working for the WBA, it is what it is. She shouldn't be a judge.
no,
Well,
but
I can tell you in that circumstance,
They
we
said
have
that-
to consider, is anyone else available for those fights that she is doing? I do not know,
That's true.
because there's far few and in between for judges these days.
Very true.
And part of it is due to the
I
social
think-
media.
Because of the scrutiny.
Alderley Bird, who gave Golovkin 2 rounds in the first fight against Canelo, like she was still doing fights, like without a problem.
Because, like she said, there's so far a few in between. There's not many because of the scrutiny that they get. Because of look at the social media. When somebody rules something incorrectly, they get, oh my God.
They're not
too
getting
many
paid
people
well
can-
either.
You're not going to get me to empathize with the judges. I'm empathizing with the fighters. So
Wait,
they're the
I'm
ones
not
impacted.
for judges, but I'm just saying, like,
Like-
not asking you
not gonna
to.
do anything
I'm just
to
giving you
you.
reasons
Honest.
why.
I mean, like, oh, poor judges. Like, leave them alone. I don't think so.
Right? I never.
Well, that's
None
not
of
what we
us
said,
ever
though.
said that.
No, I'm not
Like,
saying
I'm just-
poor
But
judges
we
I
never
either.
know.
said that. So we never said
But
that.
I will
This
tell
is
you, they're
why-
not
Just-
getting paid
this is
nearly
why
as
they
much
can't
as
be
that man in the
interviewed
ring.
Just giving
Stuff
you
like this.
reasons.
This is why they can't be interviewed, because stuff like this. Like, we never even said that. We never said that.
No.
I mean, I'm just saying, shout out to
We
Mark
never
Nash.
said that. So look, can you imagine if they were like, oh my God, I feel like it would just make it, to be honest, it would make it worse, because we the way we go off on
Hold on. I'm not just
the way
bringing up a
we
point
go
out of
off on
thin
Twitter and
air.
stuff like that,
Look,
it's gonna-
I don't
Obviously,
think you are.
look, obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but Christine was saying that, oh, it's so hard to find judges because it's so hard to do it, and it would be worse. Were you not saying that, Christine? That if they got to get
I
interviewed,
did
it's
say
going to
that.
No,
discourage.
it could be
It's
worse.
going to discourage people from wanting to be a judge. I'll be a judge, okay? And everyone could ask me whatever they want after the fight.
You
Okay.
should do that.
Mark, there's not
think they
pushback. I'm not saying that they're right. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that they're right. I'm not saying that at all.
Wait, so
What
let
I'm
me read
saying
this is a
is-
super chat. Let me read it out loud for Mark.
Okay, yes. And then I'll,
Nash, I'm shocked the ladies are giving so much pushback on on not asking for just a tiny bit transparency in a sport that we agree has so many bad decisions. But we never said that, though. We never said that.
Never,
I just feel
never.
like it's not gonna do anything. Like, they're just gonna answer the question, and the fights are still gonna be scored the way they were scored. That's it. It's like
that's what we're
said.
saying. I do not like unfair judging. Obviously, there's different perspectives, different points. Like, anybody who's ever been at a live fight and then seen it on TV it's a lot different, number one. And number two, where are they sitting? What do they see? What is their criteria? Because we want everybody to like be on the same page, but that's not the reality, obviously, right? And then we don't know what goes on, like, behind the scenes sometimes. We want to believe that everybody is fair and balanced and blah, 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 whatever. But this is the thing. We're not saying that we stick up for them and whatever. We're just talking about reality, things that really happen. What can we do? Interview them and then everything's going to change magically?
Let me get Mark Nash some
Interview
data.
them, get them on the phone. Why can't we interview them? You said yourself, D-Style, we know who these judges are.
Give me some data,
Call
Mark
them up,
Nash.
inbox them, email them, get them on your show.
Yeah, so okay, let me read this super chat from HLD.
Or whatever.
I think she must have like popped off. Her internet must have. All right. HLD, thank you for the super chat. He says, read the laws. Understand the law. They give networks and promoters the right to rig all sports via referees or judges for better profit or future sales. Okay. And then
Well, I saw referees spend time in prison for rigging games, so I don't know how true that is. So,
but see, Mark Nash said, Christine, you were talking about their safety, etc. But it is too. It is a safety thing because people these fans be crazy. Let me tell you.
No, I was
crazy. They are. So it does factor into that because come on, Mark, you already know how these fans act on Twitter. Like these motherfuckers are crazy. They already dox people that are fans already online. Like I have dealt with it myself. So
hey, I've been doxxed.
But not like.
Like I've been doxxed. It's just that they found like, oh, life's pretty boring.
Yeah,
they didn't find anything.
But
somebody
else it could affect them worse. You know, like people are crazy. I'm sorry, people are crazy. I've dealt with it firsthand, so I know.
They are. And the thing is, you know what? Nobody is stopping them from getting interviewed. Reach out to them. Get them on your show.
They're not allowed.
Reach out to them if that's what you want to do.
I've tried.
They can say yes or no. No, I'm not protecting them.
I've been told by the commission that you cannot interview the judges. I've been told that.
Well, then you need to talk to the commission. We're giving our opinions.
It's cool. Like that's the rule. I respect it, but I just don't agree with it.
Well, I didn't make the rule, so I don't know what to tell you.
Shout out to Mark
Nash says we already know their faces and names, though. Yeah, but like just you even saying that is a lot. Like, why even put that into the atmosphere? Like that to me, that's low key. Like, you know, we already know their faces and their names. Like,
so if it's about the safety and all that, then why do they give their names out loud then? Oh, this championship bout is judged by these, and they say their names, their full name too. Like, you know what I mean?
But okay, so what will interviewing them do? Like, seriously, is it gonna change the score? No. It's not. That's what I'm trying to say. Like
I'm saying, I believe in deterrence.
They should be accountable for and they are, but just not in the public eye. Like it's behind the scenes.
You don't believe that?
But like when you interview them after the fight, it's not going to magically change whatever score they just gave. It's just not. It's what we're saying. We're not saying that they should not be responding. We never said that. We never.
Right. Yeah, we're not saying protect them because whatever. But it is what it is. The rules.
Let me ask you this: Is it going to hurt? Is it going to hurt to interview them? Is it going to make things worse?
I don't know. Do it.
I do have one question for Dista. Do you feel as though over the years that the judges have become better, or you think they have become worse?
I think they're about the same. I think it's a fight-to-fight basis. I will say that I do believe most judges are just fine. Like I don't have an issue with most boxing judges, and I will say fans do exaggerate what's a robbery, what's not a robbery, right? I will say that. However, it happens enough, right? And I believe in accountability, and I do believe in deterrence, right? And if someone knows I'm going to have to answer for what I do, their action, they will act differently and accordingly, right? Maybe. I do believe that.
Maybe.
And unfortunately, they are not accountable.
The screen, like yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, let's be real. A lot of these fans don't even know how to even score a fight. They don't. They see somebody being like busy, and sometimes they're not even landing anything. And then, oh, he won that round.
It's all glove.
Yeah, it's like you don't even know what y'all even looking at. So it's just like, I'm just saying. So I just don't think it will change anything, but it wouldn't hurt.
Do you think Rashaki Foster lost that fight to Conceicao?
I do, yeah. But like interviewing the judge, what was it gonna do? Is what I'm trying to say. Like it's not gonna change anything. I just think it's gonna just like
they're not gonna overturn it.
Yeah, they're not gonna overturn it.
That's not what I'm saying.
I feel like it like Christine said, it would put some of these like judges, I think, more in public eye to be in danger.
I'll say this:
fans are crazy. They are crazy.
Look, you don't have to agree, but I believe this. If judges were held accountable and had to answer to the scorecards after fights, okay, it's very unlikely that they don't give that fight to Shaka Foster against Conceição. They probably score the fight. No, if they have to answer for how the hell do you score for Conceição? Like I
So,
believe that.
so let me say this too. So we know that sports, there's corruption, right? So are we blind and think that some of these judges aren't placed where they're placed because they don't know somebody or they're not maybe getting money under the table? I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying that there is
You
corruption
know they
in
are.
everything.
You know
I'm
they
just
are.
saying. I'm just saying.
It's an open secret.
So
I mean,
even if you interview these people, okay, but they have something else over here telling them what they need to do and how they need to do it for their welfare of whatever, do you think interviewing them is going to change that?
I think that what Mark says right here, I think this is more of like a realistic way of doing. Like, do y'all think you should do open scoring? Like, I feel
I do like that.
you know,
I
like
do like
I
that.
feel like it should be a live scoring where the judges like input. Like, I feel that's more.
So we have that in amateurs.
Yeah,
so
like
I like
to
that.
interview them after the fight, because after the fight it ain't gonna change nothing. It's not gonna change nothing at all. So I feel like you doing live scoring, like where everybody can
That I do agree with. Crystal, what do you think? Do you think it should be like the amateurs with the open scoring?
Well, I think Mark Nash is offering to give me money under the table. That's what I read right there. No, open scoring. Yes, we do have that at an amateur right now in the United States, and I think it's okay. I don't think it's a problem. The
Yeah, I
only
agree
thing,
with that.
here's the thing: the amateurs, remember, it's 3 rounds, right?
Yeah.
In the professionals, it's kind of fun not knowing how they scoring those cards. To me, that is entertainment.
Oh yeah, because the suspense.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay,
you know,
you're right.
like, it's a give and take, like,
Yeah,
because you be on the edge of the seat to see who's gonna get their name called.
Yeah,
so, like,
because otherwise, if it is open, it is very
I'm just
similar to what you
saying.
see on those estimate cards or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Like Letter have, back in the day. But I like the suspension.
I like the suspense too. I'm not gonna.
I do too. I do too. I do
Yeah,
too.
I think there's negatives and positives to it, obviously, but
you can make it
but I just want to make one more point about deterrence. So I think because I think that point's going over like it's being dismissed a little bit, right?
No, just because we don't.
I'm not. I never said that if you interview them afterwards, it's going to overturn the decision. I never said that. What I'm saying is there would be. But well, here's what I'm saying. So why do they put like when someone gets a DWI and they take a mugshot of them? Why do they put it on a website for everybody to see? Are they going to overturn the? Are they going to all of a sudden not have a like oh you're going to take the mugshot? It's not going to change anything. They already did the drunken driving, right? So what's the point? Well, the point is that you do that because that's a deterrent. Nobody wants to be embarrassed, right? And have their mugshot of them being drunk on a website, right? That all their family's going to see, right? In this case, all I'm saying is that if there's accountability after fights and they're going to be questioned and they have to answer as to why they scored something a certain way, it's going to be a deterrent for judges. And I do believe it will be somewhat effective.
Okay, but see, it's all opinions though, because everybody still would have like a pushback to it. So it's just like when Mark was saying, "Oh, you lost this one," but it's not a loss. It's just like opinions, where it's all opinions. What you're saying is just an opinion of what you think. It doesn't make it a fact of like this is what it's going to do. You know what I'm trying to say? So you guys get mad that we don't agree with like your opinion on how you think.
So let me just ask you one more question.
Hold on. Let's welcome the beautiful and talented Sportsnista. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
So let us catch you up really quick. We're having a discussion about whether or not judges should be interviewed on the way that they score a fight. And so that's where we're at right now.
Gotcha.
So finish your thought, Desal, and then we'll continue.
Well, all I want to know is, so are you arguing that they should have immunity from being interviewed after fights, or are you arguing that
I said call them up, email them, get them on your show.
Right? Because it's not going to hurt. I'll tell you that right now. That's all I'm arguing.
So Sportsnista, what do you think? I mean, so D-Style said that they should be like whenever you get drunk driving and you have your mugshot all over the internet, that if you score wrong, depending on how you scored it, I
No.
guess
I just look. Let me just make
they
clear what I'm
should
saying.
also have
No,
the
no.
same.
You're. Hold on, Christine. That was an argument. I was making an argument what a deterrent is, right? That's what I was saying. But just to be really simple, I just believe judges should be interviewed after fights, just like everybody else is, like the fighters are, like the trainers are, like the refs are, like the officials are, like the promoters are. Everyone else gets interviewed and questioned, but not the judges. And I believe they
That's
should
a
have
long
the
night.
questions. That's simple. Three more people got to get interviewed, if that. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a long night. That's the only argument I'm making.
So, Sportsnista, what do you think about that? Do you think that the judges, if they judge wrong or unfairly,
Wrong.
they should be
Just
interviewed?
Not
Hell
even
yeah,
wrong.
I think there
Not
should
even wrong.
be
Just
goddamn
get interviewed.
accountability.
Period.
Every now and then, but I think that there's a way to do it so that you keep the profession intact. So it's not just like, they're being set in front of a firing squad. Like maybe it's a random thing that after every fight, one judge is going to be asked whatever questions. But so that way everybody is prepared to be accountable. But it might not be your time. But there's just so much impropriety in the scoring right now. It's out of control, and it is affecting the livelihood of these fighters. And I think people need to be held accountable for that. You can't just say it's in the hands of the judges, and then the judges are not being held accountable for that level of responsibility. Somebody's going to have to answer for this stuff. Like, I ain't saying Adelaide Bird, but I'm saying Adelaide Bird.
Church faint. She's preaching right now. Keep going.
But something has to be done. There just can't be that much power and no accountability.
Let's see, to me, I feel we could argue about this all day because it's always going to be a back and forth for anything. Because let's be real, look at the fighters that pop for pets. Some of them have been repeat offenders. They get caught, they get dragged through the mud.
They get a new fight.
And they do it again, and they do it again. So it's like
That's true. So we pick whoever we want to pick on.
Yeah. So it's not gonna change.
There's a fighter right now who popped for multiple drugs. I think maybe within 16 months, and they got another fight without any consequences. It's ridiculous. We know
Yep.
we all know. And so, yeah, I'm all for more accountability when it comes to any kind of performance enhancing, but absolutely more accountability for refs. And I think that accountability is not just for boxing. I mean, sometimes NFL was off the chain this weekend with ridiculous calls. The WNBA is a chronic offender when it comes to tragic officiating. Somehow these leagues have got to get this shit under control.
I agree. I think it does. It does, but I don't know how interviewing, after every fight, all the judges would help. But I think random interview, like you were saying, like every now and then or whatever, like one or two. Yeah, I think that would be good. I mean, why not?
Especially if it's a championship fight, if you're talking undisputed.
Absolutely. That, yes, for sure.
I mean, for real, who will you interview after a Crawford Spence fight? Is it necessary?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, but
No.
If it's random, it's just one. They're just going to confirm, the truth.
You basically say, yeah, that was a beat down.
Right. If there was a 10,
Definitely.
it's not possible we'd have given it a 10-6.
But the thing is, there's a lot of talk on social media about the Bivol and Beterbiev fight. I thought Beterbiev won, but I would have accepted a draw. If Bivol would have won, and for me, I would have been like, this is like some home cooking. This is like something's going on, and I would have been, because I really thought Beterbiev won, by at least 2 rounds. But how did you see that fight, Sportsnista? We talked about how we saw it.
Yeah, I definitely saw Bivol winning that fight. I would have been okay with a draw. I thought 112 was ridiculous. Again,
Yeah,
like a great opportunity for an interview right there. And then, oh snap! I don't know. I don't know what happened.
your camera.
Oh, somebody probably called her.
It was just like blinking at me, and then
Are you
like,
getting a call?
no, you know,
Oh, there you go. All right.
Hey.
You're back.
okay, it's blinking. No, but I just thought so. Definitely, Better Be have had a slower start, and I felt like those early rounds, like maybe the first four, definitely went to B-ball for me, and then the rest of it was very close. And in when it's close like that, I'm looking at who is connecting more and more meaningfully, and I just felt like Bivol was connecting more often and more meaningfully. However, Better Biev was like, there's those power punches, man. When you see those and you can hear them, you hear them thuds
Through the glove.
Yep. I mean, so I would have been okay with a draw. I didn't feel like it was a robbery. Although I do think it's interesting that Bivol's camp is going through the process of making, and I think what it is, they just want to make sure that Turkey does not move on from them too fast because they like that payday, man. They like that payday. And
Oh, for sure.
This fight warrants like a rematch. Like it was such a good fight, and there's such controversy with like, was it a robbery and this and that. The people want to see a rematch. I've seen everybody say they don't mind watching a running back.
But you know the thing that I really respect about him, about Bivol, and also like we think back with the Lomachenko fight, when he fought Haney, neither one of them had excuses. They said, "I lost. That's it. I lost." They could have all said, "Oh, it's because of this, because of that, whatever," but they didn't. They said they lost. And then we see other fighters, "Oh, well, I lost because of this," and blah, blah, blah. Excuses, excuses. I think we, as boxing fans, respect the guys that say, "You know what? I lost, period. It wasn't my night. The better guy won, and it is what it is." What are y'all's thoughts on that? Because I personally respect Bivol and Lomo for when they lost and made no excuses rather than others that have made excuses.
Well, I don't see people make excuses, but then like when didn't his team kind of like,
Well, his team, but
yeah,
I mean,
his
him
team, so
personally,
like he himself didn't make any excuses.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I don't know. It's like this is we could debate about this.
Because I've said this before on many shows, and it's like boxers never go into the ring 100%. They don't. There's always, something happened during sparring. Maybe they cut weight too fast. They didn't hydrate. There's always something.
Didn't the wife say he had like a whole, like the ex-wife said he had a whole?
Oh yeah, she named him. But you don't step in there and you're 100%. So you know what? You fought. It is what it is. You win, you lose, period, in my opinion. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. We all saw what happened. And so, if you had toe jamming or you had a broken arm or, or you didn't sleep right the night before, that's part of the sport. You're never, ever going to be injury free going in. You got hit in sparring. So somewhere along the line, there's an impediment there. So I am with you that, even though it's a sport, it's also a profession. And I do appreciate when fighters behave professionally in the result of, whatever it's going to be, whether the officials got it wrong and we all feel like got it wrong or they got it right, doesn't matter. But your team need to go to bat. If they felt like something was raggedy, then they need to say all the things and they need to do all the things for certain. But as far as the athlete, I do appreciate them just kind of keeping it clean in that way. And you know what? If you thought that you won, try to run it back.
Exactly. And you know what? Let's run. Who would not love to see the rematch?
Right. People would have to like pay for that.
have to be soon, though. We can't wait too long.
It
Both
does
of them.
have to be soon. I agree with you, Crystal. But you know, I guess my example is this. So, I mean, I feel bad because even though I've lost a little bit of respect, Haney's getting so much shit. But it's like this. There has been so many excuses, the lawsuit, the everything. It's like whatever. It's like I have no respect for that. So again, we want to see him get beat because of the excuses. If he would have said, you know what, the better man won, even though he had this much, whatever we're talking about in his system, you know, the better man won.
See, look,
And I'm gonna run it back.
HOD
I would have
says here,
respected him more.
he says here, HOD, like, biblical composure and a devastating loss proved to me his ex-wife is batshit crazy. Like, you see, I don't really like when guys say stuff like this because we don't know what that lady went through with this man. And me as a woman, I know how men can do shit and try to make a woman look crazy, even though they're like the worst human beings on the face of this earth sometimes to women. So for you to say she's batshit crazy because of what you see on the outside, not knowing what she went through with this man, is kind of like doing the most. So that's my opinion on
She
that.
got a long list of receipts.
Yeah, she did.
does.
She did. She really
does.
did. But you don't want to say that. You don't want to say he's a piece of shit for that, but she's batshit crazy. Like, I'm sorry, you cannot tell this woman how to react to what she went through with this man. So whatever.
Very, very true. So I want to move on to so we saw a lot of back and forth after the Sandy Ryan Michaela Mayer fight on Twitter. And they're going at it. There's some back and forth. I don't know if any of y'all saw that. D-Style, I'll start with you because you're real quiet now. So
I'm showing that biblical composure, you know what I mean? From that, proving why y'all bad shots playing. Go ahead. What's your question?
So we saw a lot of back and forth between Sandy Ryan and Michaela Mayer. And Sandy was talking about, I don't remember this because blah, blah, blah. And Michaela's like, yeah, you don't remember because you had a concussion, you were throwing up, this and that. So there was a lot of back and forth, you know, about all the whole incident, from the pain.
I'll tell you what I think about it. And look, it is what it is, but I'm going to be very honest. And this is not with all female fighters. A lot of them, like Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, not really. But I will say, I don't like how petty a lot of these women stay after fights. Like it's
a long list of Devin Haney tripping. We did a lot.
No, well, but yeah, I don't like it when Haney does it either. But like I just think I see more cases where men have these bitter rivalries, say horrible things to each other, and then after the fight they squash it and it's over, right? Tony Harrison was saying all types of things to Tim Tszyu. You're a hype job. I'm gonna easily beat you. You're just you know, like you're not on my level. Well, whatever it is, right? Basically called him a fake. He basically called him like basically questioned how good he is. You're only where you're at because of who your father is. And they fought. Tim Tszyu beat him, and they squashed it. It was over afterwards, right? And to me, I see it more with women's boxing, with the pettiness still remains, right? After the fight. And I just think, it's just my opinion, we don't see enough of it. Let's just squash it. It's over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's a time-honored tradition in boxing that after the fight, it's a wrap. It's over. You go back to your families and it's done, right? The spears get put down when the war is over, right? That goes to the men too. I don't like it when the men stay petty either, but I've just seen it more, and that's what's happening here, right? Like they're still going back and forth on Twitter. You already fought. Like maybe you could, you know, it's my opinion.
For a better rematch, though, like it builds up for another rematch.
It's a build up, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that, but.
And I want to address HLD right here because, you know, just real quick. He says, me as a man knows how some women can be, please. Yeah, but you see, the statement that you made earlier is the reason why a lot of women don't come out about what the men do to them and the abuse they endure, because men like you, they attack them and they say, oh, she's crazy, da da da. not, this is why women, and I feel like a lot of men do this, so women can be scared to talk about it and not say anything, so you guys can keep doing the bullshit that you do to women. So get out of your feelings with that, all right? You're pissing me the fuck off. Oh my god. Pissing me off, man. Right?
Yeah.
At least the heat's off me. Like, you know what I mean? That's all I know.
No, you about to
No,
get
because
attacked.
men do
you
that
want
a
to
lot
be
of
in the
times.
pit.
They do that a lot of times so they can like make women scared to come out and talk about what they've been through with these men. All right. So you need to stop that. If you don't know what she's been through, you can't speak on it. You don't know what she's been through. And she provided a lot of receipts. All right. She did. But you don't want to talk about that. And she has a reason to act the way she did, in my opinion. And it's just your opinion as well. So it's not fact.
But I have a question for everybody. So with the Sandy Ryan and Michaela Mayer thing, with the red paint and everything, I want to just go around and I just want y'all to answer this. Do y'all think it was an outside or an inside job? And since D Styles next to me, we'll go to him, Sportsnista, Nika, and then Crystal.
I'm not even going
It's
to
our
pretend to
opinion.
know.
We don't know.
But
Allegedly, what do we think?
all I'll say is this: I don't believe Michaela Mayer and her team had anything to do with it. I will say that. Whether it's inside, I don't know, but I'll say Michaela Mayer didn't, or at least Michaela herself had no knowledge nor had anything to do with it. I'm sure Coach Al had nothing to do with that nonsense. So like I will say that. Did a Michaela Mayer fan do it? Did somebody? Who knows, right? But apparently they're on it or whatever. I'll say this: it's more likely that the trainer that left Michaela Mayer for Sandy Ryan had something to do with Michaela herself. So what a coincidence! You wanted her. You're like, oh, well, you can't fight under these conditions. Blah, 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 blah. Like, well, like really, it sounded like you really wanted out of that fight.
Okay, all right. Sportsnista, what were your thoughts when you heard that?
I mean, I just thought it was awful. I mean, seeing her standing there covered in paint. She's in hostile territory as it is. She had gone through all this adversity, had the drama with Coach K, and who knows, what the business situation was like. I don't think Michaela had anything to do with it. And you know how Coach Al gets down. Like, it's not like in his DNA to behave in that way or to sanction anything like that. So, but they got cameras everywhere. They finna find out who did.
They sure are.
But I can't imagine Michaela ever being, I mean, it's just so out of character for her. Like, she's been a professional, 16 years old. It'd be absolutely ridiculous for that to happen. But, if I'm Sandy Ryan, like, I'm still popping off about this. I would still be pissed. Like, we got to have words on site every time I see you. Anytime somebody bring it up, like, I'm still hot about it until we get to the absolute bottom of this thing.
And I'm going to get criticized for this, but I'm going to say it anyway. So if one of my fighters got paint thrown on them, red paint, I'm going to be like, okay, we cool. You got red paint thrown on you, but we going to have blood on that bitch.
This war.
And we're going to keep going. Because fuck that. That shit don't bother us. But that's me.
Right.
That's me. I'm just saying. Nika, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts is, like, she has every right to be upset. But for her to keep accusing Mayer, I feel like, I'm sorry, I feel like when they figure out who it is, I personally don't think Mayer has anything to do with it, because that's her risking the chance of her actually pulling out the fight. So it's like, why would she risk the chance of the fight not happening? And the way that that Sandy Ryan is accusing her, I would sue her for defamation when they find out who it is, because she didn't just like hint at it. She's been literally accusing her of doing it, calling her all types of bitches and stuff like that. So when they find out who it is, if it wasn't Mayer, which I don't think it was, I would sue her for defamation. Sorry, you want to be a big bad bitch online, call me all types of bitches, saying because I feel like she's being a sore loser because she lost. I would sue her. I'm sorry. So she keeps saying she has the CCTV footage. Put it out. Like, the they're investigating. You cannot accuse her of being the one who did this if you're not sure about it. just because you lost. Like, you're in your feelings, I get it, but you cannot accuse her of being the one who did this without the proof. Okay, it could have been anybody, and I don't think Mayor did it, risking the chance of her pulling out of the fight. It just doesn't make sense, but whatever.
And y'all know Michaela, she not scared.
Yeah, it's like she fought for these fights.
She's gangster.
Yeah, like she's just being a sore loser, in my opinion. All right, she's being a sore loser. So whatever.
Crystal, what are your thoughts? Like, do you think that it's a disgruntled fan? Is it on one team or the other? What do you think?
I will have to agree with everyone else. I don't think Michaela will do this. I don't think Coach Al will have anything to do with this at all. He has much greater things to worry about than doing something of this nature. I don't have any idea who do it. They say, someone in the chat say there's a video from the hotel. They provide to the NYPD. Wishfully, they figure out who do it and do what is appropriate to them. But from the legal standpoint, not a whole lot you can do there either. So I don't think that Sandy will be completely happy with the end result of this situation. I just truly don't.
Yeah,
I feel
you know the thing that we always talk about is, you know, it's not just about the physical and the training. You have to be mentally strong. Whatever comes to you, you have to be mentally strong to finish out the task that you have to finish out. So someone throws paint on you, it's fucked up. It is. But guess what, bitch? Now I'm gonna whoop your ass even harder. Like I'm killing you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't let anything get in the way. But
Did she get the paint
I don't
off?
know.
I don't know.
Yeah, she did. Before she got the paint off, she posted a picture of her nude with the paint dripping, like smeared down her leg. And just like, I'm sorry, I feel like if she gets the answers that she's looking for, like when she finds out that it wasn't Mayor, she's still gonna be upset because she lost. Like, you know, she's still, and if she does find this out, she needs to issue a public apology for accusing Mayor of doing it, you know, because she's really doing the most without even knowing if Mayor was in fact the one that had something to do with it.
And I'm no paint expert, but D-Style is, because he painted houses, you know, with his uncle. But to me, the paint splatters did not match. From on top of the clothes to when she got nude, they didn't match. But I don't know how paint works.
Well, no, she dragged the paint down her legs when she pulled her pants down. I mean, that's what it is. But it looked more dramatic when she pulled the pants down and the paint was dripping down further her leg.
And how long did it dry? Like, I don't know. There's so many questions I have.
It looked worse when you saw the paint down her leg instead of just.
Christine, what's the conspiracy, Christine? Well, what do you think she did, or what? Like, what?
I don't know.
You think she repainted her leg? Like,
I would not accuse anybody of anything, but I'm just saying something's going on. I just don't know what it is. That's all I'm gonna say.
She's hell bent on thinking it was Mayor that did it. Like
you notice how like this stuff, like this doesn't happen in men's boxing, like paint thrown at people. And
they do others.
I'm just saying.
Some men are pettier than women. They've done other shit. Like it ain't
not like that. Like
talking about people paying folks to like take videos and shit in camps and things like that. That's
sparring.
And
I get it.
They have moles and the moles in the camp. Remember the Ryan Garcia mole?
Remember the whole sparring video of somebody getting knocked out. That's oh shit.
That's true.
It definitely wasn't me.
It was you, D-Style.
I think it was.
I think it was Christine, actually.
I don't ever post sparring videos. But I will say this, because I know the rule. I know how it goes. So, D-Style, your guy's going to fight this weekend.
Who?
Tim Zoo. You know who.
I mean, thought about Tim Zoo?
Against Muratazalevi.
Bakram Mutazaliev.
Okay, I was talking about his last name. So talk to us about this, because, you know, he just lost to Fundora. Before that, he had an injury. And now we see that Fundora is going to fight Spence. So in your opinion, is this a tune-up before something else comes? Or is this a real solid fight?
No, this is a solid fight. This is the IBF world champion he's fighting. Now Tim is the favorite, but he should win this fight. If you're asking me, is he at Tim's level? I don't believe he is, but they fight the fights for a reason. Mujazaliev is a tough Russian. We know these Russian fighters are tough. Has a really Soviet style. He's good at everything. Like he's got a good jab, he's got a good right hand, a good hook. He's got good speed. He's got good power. Like I wouldn't say he's great at anything, but he's not. He's very good at everything, right? And a fighter like that is very dangerous, right? The only problem he's going to have here, as I watch some of his fights, doesn't really use angles a lot. It's very straight up, not a lot of head movement. Backs up a lot, doesn't back up at an angle, which is going to be a problem against Tim Tszyu. He also, when he misses, he tends to really start swinging for the fences a lot. And when he misses, he misses. You ever see like a batter, like when he misses a pitch, right? That's how bad he misses. And I think he's going to be open to counters from Tim. You know, Tim is a sharpshooter counterpuncher, a really good mate at mid-range. And if there's one thing he picked up from his dad is the power in the right hand and the timing. And I think that's going to win him the fight. And Tim's very familiar with that Soviet style. It's how he was brought up with his dad to learn how to fight. And that's actually the style that he has. So I see Tim winning this fight either by a very wide decision or I think like a mid-range stoppage.
Let me ask you this.
Mid-round stoppage, sorry.
So let me ask you this. What did Tim do wrong in the Fedor fight, in your opinion?
Tim didn't do anything wrong. Tim was cut. His team did him wrong. I think they should have stopped the fight and just let it end in no contest. Tim was easily beating Fundora. Anywhere where I saw where it was heading, he was easily beating him, relatively easy. And then he got cut in the worst possible place, right? Right here, and then it hit like I believe like I forget, like a vein or something, and so it was bleeding even worse. They couldn't stop the blood; it was dripping to both his eyes. He couldn't see. It just is what it is. Like I think they should have stopped the fight.
So I see what you're saying, but so I was at the fight. And even though we know that Fundora does not always use his range or his length, we saw that Tim was at the end of every punch that Fundora threw.
Yeah, Tim
so
couldn't
that was
see.
My criticism.
He couldn't see. He had no vision.
Before he couldn't see, he was at the end.
Tim was beating the hell out of him before the cut. Like period. Like I think the writing was in the wall of what's going to happen in that fight. Tim broke his nose before the cut. Like Tim was lighting him up and found the range. Actually, I don't believe Fundora was having much success. I've got to be honest. I think the writing was on the wall. This guy who struggled against Ocampo for 12 rounds and got knocked out by Mendoza was not going to beat Tim Tszyu if that cut didn't happen. Like point blank, period.
I just saw him. I just saw him at the end of his punches. I'm just saying. He needs to make his way and feint his way inside. That was even though Fundora does not use his range, but you know I you know against this guy, like I pray that he wins because he's great. He's very talented. Sportsnista, have you seen the opponent that Tim Tszyu is going to be fighting soon?
I haven't, but Tim keeps calling him a step-aside fighter.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, my bad. Sorry. I was going to.
That's okay. That's coming up next.
Yeah.
What happened?
What happened to her?
Put her up. There you go. Okay. I was trying to add the slides to the.
That's okay. That's coming up next. Yeah. Sorry, sports.
But I do enjoy watching Tim. I think he's in a division that's hot right now, so he's certainly a player in there. And had he not gotten cut so severely, and I agree, the team did him wrong, man. Like, how do you not stop the fight to get that in no contest? Because it set him back 2 fights. Not just that one and the one after that they tried to make. And so this is an important fight for Tim Tszyu coming up. How he looks is going to be really important to see, and that relationship that he's got with Turkey right now is a bit fractured, and I think he's got to have a really strong showing. He's got to close the show early in this to put himself back into contention in terms of those big money fights.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Daniel says, "Oh yeah, I see Sky mentioned Tiara's name after her fight."
Dude,
You know, we all know that Tiara's fight was canceled
Yeah.
because of a visa problem. And Sky did mention Tiara. I don't.
But you know what's funny is like Sky is like calling Amanda Serrano a duck because she doesn't like address her or anything, but she was literally doing the same thing to Tiara. So
Absolutely.
like, you know, like make up your mind on what you think is a duck or not. So were you ducking Tiara? Like you miss me with that because Tiara was doing everything she can, calling her out every chance she gets. We kind of pretty much harassing her online. She act like she didn't know the girl. So, but now that so Amanda was doing the same to her, now she wants to call her a duck. It's like, girl, I can't. I cannot.
Yeah. Trust me, Tiara's not scared of her at all.
At all. She's been calling out forever. But Amanda's a duck for doing the same thing that she was doing to Tiara. So, you know.
But that Sky fight was an important one in that it was the first female fight being part of.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, I felt like women's boxing had a really great year last year. And there was so much momentum. And then it's just been lukewarm throughout this year. And we're in fourth quarter now. And we've only had a couple of like meaningful matchups. Anytime you get certain fighters at the top of the card, they need to start insisting that there's women on this card. Like, we need these dudes to start stepping up because, you know, honestly, you're talking a business move. You're probably going to pay them less than you're paying, you know, the two dudes who are opening up the card. So,
nothing. A lot of times they're more exciting than the.
And it's more exciting.
Well, I don't know about the Sky
I mean, look at the Mayor fight. You know, with the Mayor Ryan fight, that was
Sandy and Mayor,
fire.
that was the best to me.
Yeah, Katie Serrano.
What does that say about Saudi Arabia, though? That in 2024 they're bragging about having a women's title fight.
Well, we know what it says. It says they're behind.
I mean, have they given women a right to like drive over there yet, or
no?
There's a cultural issue there, but
they can drive over there.
United States.
No, I believe it's illegal actually.
So Crystal, we can't drive over there.
Yeah. Then it's I think a woman won a car at the fight.
She did. The Mercedes Jeep, right?
So perhaps it was only in the tourist areas they can drive over there.
Oh, it's a new. I guess they recently. Hey, look at this. They're becoming more, more open-minded. I guess they can drive now.
I was thinking they can. Yeah.
The narrative over there for human rights. That's what they're doing. They have to get out of that hole this bad light that they're under. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Golden boy and top rank, and you know, even not as known promoters have opportunities to put women on the cards, and they're not doing it. Mm-hmm. And they need to be held accountable for it. Every time Bob Arum, I'm like, where are the women at on these cards?
Yeah, because they only have two women signed to them, right? Sinisa and Mayor, right?
And you don't even have them signed to the promotion for them to actually appear on the card. You know, especially in those opening bouts. You don't have to pay them as much.
And that was the most viewed fight that they had was the Sandy Ryan and
this year.
Mayor
Absolutely.
And to that credit though, like to add to the point, the ratings were really good, despite the fact that they aired it very late. By the way, the ratings would have been better if it wasn't like so late, right? But that outperformed Teofimo's fight against Josh Taylor, right? And they paid those guys a lot of money, right? Yeah. And then Teofimo was demanding crazy amount of money, like after those fights. And then look at what they were offering Shakur Stevenson, a renewal of $3 million per fight. and that fight did very comparable numbers to Shakur's fight.
Yeah, see?
Just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Got
That's
like
true.
that. Yeah, I'm with you when you're right. This time, I'm with you when you're right.
Yep, I'm doing you right too.
At the ratings from last year alone, like there are women. I mean, look at what Katie and Amanda did in New York City.
Yeah.
So there are just opportunities to make money promoting women in boxing.
Absolutely.
A lack of will to do it, and it's ridiculous that at this point you're seeing Sinisa fighting once a year, Michaela fighting once a year, Kate, and women are starting to age out. How much longer they got to be fighting for? You know, to you 47 years old? It's ridiculous.
No, I get what you're saying. I think the positive thing is that women right now are not taking as much punishment as these men. So they're able to go a little bit longer than the men, but I totally agree as far as the aging out. So Amanda has been through some wars.
Mm-hmm.
Can she beat Sky? Hell yeah. Did Sky mention Amanda? Yeah. And Amanda would whoop her ass. So would Tierra. But they're all starting to age out, as you say. But the positive is that they have not taken as much damage as the men.
The ones who've gotten into the sport kind of, I think, in the 2000s, right? If you look at someone like Heather Hart, for example, and even Christy Martin, they took so much damage. She's
absolutely
there anytime. And so now there's actually a lot more structure and opportunities for them to train better, to get better trainers as well. But how do you build the sport when there's never any showcases available? We need younger women to be showcased.
Absolutely.
Same platforms. Like, how many times are you going to watch male fighters who are constantly getting their asses whooped, like over and over again? It's like, let's get new people in there. Let's continue to share the platform with women, because there's money to be made. It's not a charity thing. Not saying like let's just give women a chance. No, there's money to be made in women.
Absolutely. And the beautiful thing is the climate that we're in right now, more women are like not embarrassed, or they don't care, and they're like, I want to box. I want to be in combat sports. I don't want to be a ballerina or a tap dancer or whatever. No offense to them, but this is what they want. So I love the empowerment that is coming.
Yep.
And it's here.
For all the girls that want to get into like boxing, contact Christine. She's over there in Texas. She could train you. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
I would say we have quite the females coming up. We have a lot of good females coming up through the ranks
Absolutely.
at the USA boxing level. I think some of them, they give some of the pros right now a hard time. That's what I'm hearing. Yep. That's the word on the street.
I got some in my gym right now. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So before we say our last words, Nika, you have a Chickens flyer for the media event this Friday.
I sure do. Does it have a sound? Does it have
a sound? This is very important because we're running it back. Like, we should have been there, but you know what? We're not going to cry over spilt milk. We're going to take it now. So we have a media event on Friday at the gym, and then we fly out Monday. We're headed to New York, and we fight on Pro Box on Wednesday. We're gonna. If you thought that Chicken beat Mio the first time, you haven't seen nothing yet.
Let's go, Chicken.
Let's go, Chicken. That's right.
So I need to change my expectation from 12 rounds to perhaps a stoppage.
She is stronger. She has been given more tools. One thing that we tell our guys and girls, we're not going to send you out to war without any weapons, and we're going to study the enemy, and we are definitely going to have a different game plan, because we know that she's studying us too, but we're not that same fighter. So yeah. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good.
So if you're out there in Texas, make it up to this open media workout.
Yes, please do. Please do. And then if you're in New York or in the area, please. And if not, watch it on Pro Box on Wednesday on the 23rd.
There we go.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So let's do some last words. We'll start with D Style and we'll go around.
Let's interview these judges. Why not?
Okay. That's
What'd you
one.
say?
I'm not gonna argue with you.
He is so petty.
Why not?
What'd you say?
I said, let's interview these judges. Why not?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, get them on your show. Get them on your show. Let's go.
That's all you have to say is on this
Yeah.
kind of judges. That's it.
Hey, short and sweet. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the message.
Sports Nisa, thank you so much for joining us. Any last words? It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me. More importantly, like anybody watching and listening now or later, continue to tune in to this show. These women not only do what they do well, they do what they do with great integrity. So it is just always a pleasure to have an opportunity to sit next to you all. And the most important question in all of boxing right now is, who the F is Santa Claus and why I get blocked?
Right?
Know you. I don't even know nobody who do know you either.
Right? He's in his feelings about some child support.
Girl, I've been blocked, but you don't even want to know.
Like, let me just see it. I'm like, what?
They said he's upset about some child support. Somebody like called him out with child support. And he just like spent out of control and started blocking everybody. I think he's researched the words child support or something. Just blocked everybody who talked about it or something. I don't know. It's very weird. But it's going viral for it, so whatever.
Maybe that was the plan.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Funny.
I still love you too, the HLD. we
love HLD.
Yeah.
We love you. Crystal.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again, and everyone in the chat. We have a great chat, even though HLD get us on the nerves sometimes. Thank you, D-Style and Spartanista, for joining us today. It's a great day. That's it. I don't have much else.
Michael, what you got, girl? Let them know.
All right, so I want to thank the chat. Per usual, we always have great feed gems in the chat. Thanks to D-Style and Sportsnista, my fellow Yankee fan, New York Yankees. We kind of, I don't want to jinx us, but go Yankees. Oh, the New York Liberty won tonight as well too. I just got the score. And then I want to say that this is we're wearing pink because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And, I lost my aunt last month to breast cancer. I don't want to cry, so I'm going to keep it safe. So, I think everyone in the world has been affected by someone with cancer, whether it be a friend or a family member. So hopefully one day they'll find a cure for it, but, just keep fighting. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Let's go chicken. That's all I have to say.
We love to love you. So next Wednesday we won't be on live because we're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
But if Nika and Crystal want to commentate while they watch Pro Box, I won't be upset with it.
That'd be cool.
Only if D-Style don't interview me afterwards.
Yeah, D-Style don't interview her afterward. But
I'll score him.
If they want to go live and do the whole fight, we don't mind. But anyway, thank you all, and love to love you.
Appreciate you.